Hey, what's up guys? It's Toxic here, and today I'm going to talk about my favorite game on Roblox. You see, there are many games on Roblox, some that are popular, some that are not popular, some that were popular and are no longer popular. There's a bunch of different types of games and all that, right? And usually when you play a bunch of games, you tend to have a favorite, right? And sometimes with your favorite game, especially the ones that used to be popular but are no longer popular, the developer may move on from Roblox or, for whatever reason, the game stops working. And this has been the case with one of my favorite games for, I want to say about a year at this point. I honestly don't even remember how long ago it broke, okay? I just know that it's been broken for a while, and it really, really makes me feel really sad because this is a game that I have a lot of memories with, and I don't know how many of you can relate because this was a game that was popular many, many years ago. Like, I'm talking at least like 2012 maybe. I'm sure 2012 is a decent estimate, right? But I'm kind of dragging this little intro on, but let's actually go talk about the game, which is Burnout 3. Okay, it's not the real Burnout 3, obviously. It's a Roblox game called Burnout 3. So it's not Burnout, like, the actual Burnout series or anything like that. But you can see it's a game called Burnout 3 by Shock Dude. And you can see that little warning that says this game may not function as intended. The developer needs to update the game. And it's been there since, the Roblox released that experimental mode update from like forever ago that just completely broke like 95% of the old games on Roblox. I think it actually broke some default games as well, which was actually hilarious. But you can see it was last updated on Christmas 2014, and we have not seen an update since, and the game is just broken, okay? And this was actually one of my favorite games on Roblox for a very long time. You can see it was created in early 2008, and you can see it has almost 1 million plays visits too. So it was a decently popular game for its time. Again, 1 million plays back then was a lot compared to now, which is like, every front page game has 1 million. Like, they're making millions of plays in a day. So it's a little bit of a different story. But yeah, let's actually just go look at the game, which honestly, I'm going to be honest here. It's not the best looking game. Let's go full screen. It's not the best looking game on Roblox by any stretch of the imagination. Just looking at the game in itself right now, you can see it's a very simplistic game. You can see there's just a little GUI on the top and a music player GUI at the bottom, which surprisingly, if I'm not mistaken, last time I checked, it still works. So like the music player works, but the game actually doesn't. That's interesting. Usually that's an add-on, right? Let's just turn on the volume a little bit. I'm pretty sure most of its songs on Roblox are not copyrighted, so you can hear it's playing music. Which, honestly, back then, this was a really, like, a lot of the Roblox music back then was kind of like this, and it was really cool. I don't know how many people actually remember this, like, Roblox player GUI or whatever, but this was a really, really cool song. I always thought it was cool. I don't know, there was a lot of songs on here that I thought was so cool. Some of these are actually very copyrighted now that I'm thinking about it and looking at the names, so I'm taking that chance for you guys there. I might remove it if I get a copyright strike or whatever. But yeah, looking at the game, very simplistic. You can see the entire map from pretty much the spawn if you really want to. You can see down here there's a little room where you could smash into parked cars. There's a bunch of cars on the road. There's a train that you could hit. There's a racing area, which isn't really scripted at all. You just line up and you could start whenever you want, and there would be a checkpoint there. And it was like, kind of like a makeshift raced in a way. It's not like a real race or anything, but it was really fun. And I have a lot of childhood memories of, like, for example, on that bridge in particular, I remember I was racing somebody, and when I went jumping up, I landed on top of that bus. I fell over into the water, and there was somebody in the water that just plowed straight into me and blew me up. And it was... those were the days, dude. And I remember, like, especially brand new servers, which for some reason back then it was pretty rare to get into. But if you did get a brand new server, it was always so fun to just smash all of the cars that were just sitting there, like, the traffic cars and all that. It was so fun. And there's also a very, very cool gameplay aspect over here. In this little tunnel, you can see those pillars right there, right? If you hit those pillars, your car took a substantial amount of damage. Like, you could drive into that. Like, your car could be perfectly fine. You tap one of the pillars, you could end up losing a wheel. You could lose an entire front end. Like, those pillars literally just ate your car up. And also, you were able to smash into other players' cars too, which is why this area, like this little ocean trench thing, this became, honestly, a war zone. This was one of my favorite parts about the game down here. If you weren't racing and smashing into cars and all that, and, you know, avoiding that pillar. And also, I thought I was so scientific, I would, like, try to avoid the pillar. Like, I would just, like, try to tap it with a mirror, see what happens with all the different cars, which there are a ton of cars, by the way, which we're going to talk about in a second. Oh, oops, I spawned one. You can see there's a tractor, and all of the cars are very, very, what's the word? Old school looking. You can see they're very old school looking, and this game suffers from the bug most old games have now, where if you jump near something, it just launches you away. You can see, again, little details here and there that back then you wouldn't have noticed, but now since you're all nitpicky looking for stuff, you would notice that there's a little thing here. You can't even fall through, so it doesn't matter. But back on topic, to the trenches. This was so fun, just smashing into people, and it was like a little demolition derby. And I remember the most overpowered thing is this nuke truck, okay? I don't know if it still works in, I doubt it works with today's scripting and everything, but if this nuke truck flipped upside down, it would explode. Like, this nuke would explode, and I don't know what the radius was. I honestly forgot. But I just know it had a decent radius, and it just blew up anything surrounding it. I'm more than sure that doesn't work now. I mean, you can't even drive cars. But the last car I'm going to be talking about... Well, actually, I want to talk about two. We have car. Yeah, it's literally just called car, and it's pretty cool. I like it. And then also, we have the GT Supercharged, which was my favorite car in the game. Even though the F1 is undoubtedly the fastest car in the game built by 3D Gamer, I think that this one's better because it was very similarly speed. I think a lot of these cars had pretty much the exact same speed. I don't know. But even if that wasn't the case, this was a pretty fast car, had a lot of blocks around the everything, like the wheels and everything, to surround in case somebody hits you. It had decent defense. It was an amazing car to just, you know, it was a good all-around car in that sense. And also the wheels were very transparent. I don't know why they're invisible now, but they were like kind of transparent. Now they're just full on invisible, and now it looks like it's floating. But yeah, and also, again, I can't drive any of these cars. But to show you the damage model, I think if I reset, they just fall apart with my character, which would hold true to back then, because back then that happened. But let's see. Yeah, it falls apart. So yeah, you can see like the cars actually completely fell apart whenever you crashed into them. And I think if I'm lucky and I spawn a car on top of one of these cars, like above them, I think I'm going to be lucky enough to actually see some destruction. Let's see. No. Sadly, it didn't happen. Alright, whatever. But yeah, it's... Also, the skateboard doesn't work too. Oh, maybe it does. Yeah, it does. Wow. Something works in this game. The reset tool does work. I would show you, but it doesn't work. Or I would show you, but yeah. That's what I meant by it doesn't work. It's just a reset tool. It's not like it can't. It's not like it can break at all. But yeah, back onto. Okay, this guy better not steal my skateboard. If this guy steals my skateboard, I'm gonna be sad. All right. Anyway, just to wrap up the video here, this was one of my favorite games. Also, you could click regen traffic, which regenerated traffic, so you didn't even have to find a new server. I honestly forgot that button existed because nobody clicked it. Even though you begged them in the chat to click it, nobody would click it. Literally nobody would click that button to regenerate the traffic. So you were just kind of stuck in a server. Whoa, that was close. But yeah, you were kind of just stuck in a server with no cars half the time. And this was, you know, a help button. Oh, yeah, see what I mean? It literally destroys some things. It doesn't destroy you now for some reason. This would kill you, by the way, in the old days. But it literally just broke my skateboard. And more Burnout, which is a teleporter to the other Burnout games this guy he actually created. Oh my god, I'm bad at words. But that's pretty much it for today's video. I just kind of wanted to look at this game, give it some more attention because I miss this game so much. And unless Shock Dude comes back or this somehow goes into Super Nostalgia Zone, which I actually strongly doubt would ever happen, this game seems like it'll never, ever come back. And it makes me really sad to see that. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm sad my favorite Roblox game is broken. Somebody please fix it. I would legitimately spend like hours upon hours playing this. But yeah, again, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time, and goodbye.